David Icke is another researcher whom has come to a somewhat similar conclusion as James, only the details differ. He, too, is of the conviction that we started out as free spirits and got trapped here in 3D. His research also digs into the Anunnaki past and current presence on Earth, genetic engineering, and entrapment through DNA/RNA alteration. However, while James and others who have had real encounters with the Anunnaki and I've been in contact with these contactees, Icke's main theory, here extremely simplified, is that the global elite, working behind the scenes to control our reality and keep us trapped here, are possessed by, or taken over by reptilian ETs called the Anunnaki. The reptilians are from the lower fourth density or dimension and can't comfortably stay for long in our reality without drinking human blood. The blood is keeping them grounded here for a while through vibration. Hence the satanic, black magic blood rituals that are reported to take place around the globe in elite circles. The global elite believe they are of a pure bloodline going back to Old Babylon, Sumer, and even further back, a direct line to the reptilian fourth density entities who interbred with humans. By keeping their bloodline as pure as possible through inbreeding, they are able to function as hosts for these higher density reptilians. In exchange for doing their dirty work, they can live a life in abundance and more or less get whatever they want when it comes to material things and certain spiritual powers. The goal of the reptilians is to completely take over the Earth as the conquering race they are. Hence, they are slowly but surely building a new world order to establish themselves as gods in a human slave society where we will all be implanted with microchips from birth. And our thoughts will be manipulated by extremely low frequency waves so that we can no longer think for ourselves. All our thoughts will be controlled, and we will think they are our own. In other words, we are heading towards a society which would make George Orwell's 1984 look like a vacation trip to Greece. We are becoming the ultimate slaves, and these beings are very close to accomplishing their goal. However, by waking up the masses via the internet, books, lectures, and spiritual work which raise our frequencies, we can affect other people around us positively, and hopefully sooner than later, raise the frequency of enough people to be able to stop this dark agenda, which has been going on for thousands of years. In most of his later books, Icke is talking about that we are stuck in a time loop. He actually wrote a whole book about it, Tales from the Time Loop 2003. He also elaborates on this in his latest book, Human Race Get Off Your Knees, The Lion Sleeps No More 2010, where he makes a good job comparing his time loop theory with that of how a DVD works. We watch a movie on DVD usually from beginning to end, and it tells a story. We are actually all actors in this movie, which is quite predestined, but we can interact to some degree and change things in the movie if we are spiritually aware enough to be able to do so. If not, we're running on a script, a program which we have little control over. Time in 3D is like this movie. You can fast forward or rewind the DVD to a certain point in the plot and start watching from there. Thus, you have a past, a present, and a future. However, most people are not aware of that. They are playing out a script. The originators of this movie are the reptilians, who can watch the 3D plot from outside, just like we sit in the living room watching a DVD. According to Icke, we thus live in a giant hologram, in a movie which starts all over once it has finished. And we are getting close to the end of the movie now. This is also how prophecy works. Entities from outside the DVD or time loop are entering the movie and give us predictions about future events that are most likely to come true, because they are written into the plot. So how do the reptilians do this? Well, again, according to Icke and the research he has done, it's all controlled from the artificial moon. This is where their control room is, where they direct their holographic technology towards Earth and keep us trapped. The moon, however, is just a relay station, and the real programming seems to come from the planet Saturn, according to Icke and his latest discoveries. This is the extremely short version of Icke's research, and I recommend you read his books to get a bigger picture because I can't make justice to it here. Although I haven't really seen Icke mentioning it, It is easy to expand on his theory, the moon matrix, if we want to take it to heart and are curious about what happens after we die. If Icke is correct, it's not a stretch to imagine that the spirit world and the time-space we go to between lives is another DVD which is playing over and over.